We all want a cool desk setup, right? We want the office to be a vibe. But you know what's more important than that? Lighting. It's one thing to have a cool desk, but if you don't have lighting to back it up, it's gonna look like crap. I touched on it a little bit in my last video, but I wanted to make a full video dedicated to lighting your setup to kind of give you some tips and tricks on what I do. So I'm gonna go over 4 main components of lighting my setup. There's really 3 main brands that I could recommend to you that I've personally used. Number 1 being Philips Hue. This is the lighting that I use. This is the lighting that I'm going to talk about in this video. This is the most expensive lighting, but there are reasons behind why I chose to just go with the Philips Hue system. Number 2 would be LifeX. It's a little bit cheaper, but still really great. They have a great app. The user interface is pretty easy to use, and I've used these lights alongside my Philips Hue in the past and really enjoy them. Number 3 would be Govee, and these are the more budget-friendly lights. They have very similar products to the Philips Hue products and the LifeX products, but I'm not really a fan of the app, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit in this video. But as much as I can, I'm going to try and show you a comparable option to the Philips Hue. So if I talk about one item from Philips Hue, I'll try to find the cheaper Govee option or the LifeX option that might be better suited for you. Now, a quick disclaimer, this video is not sponsored. I did receive the BenQ screen bar, but they did not even really expect a review or any video out of it, so all of my opinions on this are going to be my own. The Philips Hue system, I spent all my money on it. They're very expensive. I wish they would sponsor me. So with that out of the way, how do I light my setup? Let's start with the on-desk lighting. To illuminate the top of my desk, I use the BenQ screen bar halo. I love using a screen bar like this because it's one of the easiest ways to light the top of your setup without any actual beam of light hitting you. My number 1 issue is having an actual beam of light anywhere visible in eyesight, because that's going to create eye strain. It's going to take your focus off away from your computer monitor. So after using one of those IKEA lamps that everybody has for a number of years, I finally got rid of that and replaced it with the screen bar. It gives me similar results as far as having an actual beam of light casting onto the top of the desk, so that way I can see my keyboard keys better, or I can read a book as if I have a book light above me. But the way this thing is shaped, it doesn't cast any harsh light back into my face, so there is zero glare whenever I use this thing. The BenQ has 3 modes which are incredibly helpful, 1 being the front light, 2 being the back light, and 3 having both of them on at the same time. Now, why would you need a backlight kicking behind the monitor? This helps with eye strain. This helps whenever you're working in a dark environment where the monitor is the main source of light. Anytime you have one main source of light hitting you in the face, your eyes are going to strain easily. So having that light kicking behind it is going to combat the ambient levels around you, and you'll notice a pretty substantial difference when using this for hours at a time. The screen bar features a bicolor LED design, so you can change the color temperature from 2700 all the way up to 6500 Kelvin, which means cooler and warmer. The bar is connected via USB, and I'm able to plug it into the back of my monitor, so that way there's no extra cords dangling all over the place. But another huge thing I love about this is that it comes with a wireless controller. This controller allows you to adjust the brightness, the color temperature, and it also has an auto dimming feature which basically reads the overall room levels, and it is able to adjust its brightness and color temperature based on that. Having a screen bar like this is one of those accessories that you don't really think you need until you have it, and then once you have it set up, you realize how beneficial it is. Now let's talk about monitor lighting. Again, it's very beneficial to kick a light behind the wall of your monitors, so that way it's able to help reduce eye strain when you're working long hours. So aside from having the BenQ light bar, which helps kick light behind it, I also have the Philips Hue Play bars. I currently have one of these on each of my side monitors. Now these lights are quite a bit brighter than my BenQ light bar, so sometimes I'll drop them a little bit lower to compensate for that, but I really love the look that it creates behind these monitors. Now these are going to be a little expensive, coming in at $160 for a 2-pack, but I have found that Govee has a pretty solid alternative for $60 on Amazon, and that comes with 2 of them, all of the mounting hardware, and then you just connect them via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi from your phone. I'm just not really a big fan of the Govee app in general, so it's kind of a give and take there as far as the price difference. So what is it about Philips Hue that I like? Why do I use Philips Hue, and why would I spend the money on this? Honestly, the main reason is that it is controlled by a Wi-Fi hub. So all of the lights that I have connected are connected directly to the Wi-Fi hub, which that is then connected directly into my internet router. And this just creates a much more stable lighting system. When you're using Bluetooth-based smart lights, sometimes the lights get disconnected or your phone can't connect to it. I've had these weird glitches and issues in the past, and these are issues that I've never really had with a Philips Hue system. After using both of these, I've just slowly purchased more and more Philips Hue lights until I could finally get rid of the LIFX and the Govee lights and just create an entire Hue light up system. An added benefit to having the Philips Hue hub is that I'm able to connect a wireless remote accessory, so that way I can easily turn on and off these lights whenever I'm entering and exiting the room. Now let's move below the monitors to the actual desk ambient lighting. One of my favorite things to do with a desk setup is place a light strip behind the desk. This is a technique that I found from one of Andre Vidoza's videos. By simply putting a light strip directly behind your desk, it's able to illuminate the whole area around you. You can really get creative with this, whether it's for a gaming setup or just a work from home setup, but I would definitely recommend this as kind of a baseline for lighting your setup. Light strips are some of the cheapest things that you can buy, whether you're getting the Philips Hue lighting strips or getting just the run-of-the-mill ones that you can find on Amazon for super cheap. And if you don't really care about having full control of them, you can really go as cheap as possible on this just to light your setup and make it look a little bit cooler. It's obviously cool to have the RGB lights and the LEDs all over your desk setup, but if the ambient levels in your room aren't able to match that, then it's just not going to tie in together. At least on this side where the actual desk setup is in my office, I'm able to rely on the lighting on my desk setup, but I still need to increase other sides of the room to kind of tie everything in together. So I have a lamp to the left of my TV with a shade on it so that I get a nice soft light. I'm really not a fan of having direct light sources anywhere in the room. What I mean by this is a floor lamp with an exposed bulb, something where you could really see the intensity of the light. It's just going to become a distracting thing and not really help out as much as you would think it would. Between this and the lights that are behind my TV, that's really all I need to light up that whole area, which that light is going to be able to travel a little bit further to where my desk setup is, and those lights kind of blend together to create a nice feel overall. The only other source of light that I actually have next to my desk is a video light. This light is a Nanlite Forza 200 with a softbox on it, and I use this light mainly when I'm shooting YouTube videos like this. I don't always have it on, but it's sometimes nice to be able to turn this on at a low level and just reflect it off of the wall or wherever to kind of bring up the levels in the office. So this is something to consider if you shoot YouTube videos or you take Instagram photos of your desk setup. Always having a proper video light next to you is going to be very beneficial because you can use it, 1, for shooting your content, and 2, for actually lighting the setup itself. All of these lighting elements by themselves can seem kind of disconnected from each other, but when you tie everything together, it really brings this office and this desk setup to life. I spend a lot of time here working, I want it to look nice, and I also want it to serve a functional purpose. I want to be in here and enjoy being in here and not feel like there's a prison light kicking off from the wall just shooting into my face. So that's why I think lighting is very important when you're building a desk setup, and it's a very easy thing to kind of overlook. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope it helped a little bit if you're kind of struggling with lighting your own desk setup. Again, I will leave a link in the description with not only the Philips Hue system, but also some of the other cheaper alternatives if you're interested in picking those up. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and say what's up in the comments. Thank you all again for supporting this channel. I'll see you all in the next video.